Let's celebrate. Christ is our first foundation. Come on, guys. Welcome to LINC Conference 2023. Let's make some noise in the building. Y'all excited to be here?
That doesn't fail.
Come on. He never fails. He never fails.
Come on.
How many people here know that Jesus Christ never fails? Come on, let's celebrate. Hey, you guys glad to be at Conference 2023? Hey, high five 3 people and tell them it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
We're just so glad to be here together. So we just want to welcome you to this LINC Conference 2023 here in person and online. We see you.
What's up, everybody?
We know
online?
You're watching. We pray that you have your pen, your pencils, your coffee, and you are ready to just get poured into today.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
They let us back here one more year.
They let us back here.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
What did they do? Hey, listen.
What?
This is the year I guess we can do whatever we want.
We have
because they let us come back up here. Now, we're not going to do anything we want. Listen, guys, we got so many people from so many different places. We want to celebrate this year's conference.
Yeah.
We have 65 churches represented.
That is amazing.
Come on. 14 states represented.
Come on.
Listen, y'all got to make noise for this one because some of them are watching even online right now. We've got 6 countries represented: Italy, Pakistan, Venezuela, South Korea, Mexico, and Uganda. And we're so excited to be here. I forgot to introduce ourselves. My name is Muta.
And I'm Christine.
And we get to be the lead pastors of Relevant Church Niles. Yeah. And we got Relevant Church Grand Rapids in the building. And then your church is in the building.
Wow.
We said your church is in the building.
Come on.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, listen, we want to set our hearts to be ready to receive what God has for us this conference. There's been a lot that's gone into the preparation. So can we celebrate all of the leaders, all of the volunteers who prepared this for us, all of our solution partners. So as some of you guys may know, this past year we've had an initiative called I Am LINC.
Yeah.
And it's been an opportunity to gather us as a family and to remind us that we are all part of the larger organization, that I am LINC, she is LINC, you are LINC. And we've got this incredible representation, this video that gets to show you who we are. For some of you who may be new around LINC, and you may be saying, man, this is my first time, this is my first LINC conference. First of all, how many people, this is your first LINC conference?
Wow.
Come on, let's go.
Amazing. Come on.
So listen, this is what we want to share with you. Who is LINC? Check out this video.
I was asked the other day, what are we looking to accomplish with LINC? LINC is really about independent pastors that are looking for relationship.
We chose LINC because relationship is important. It's actually vital. And so at Cornerstone, our tagline is where relationship is at our core.
We were drawn to LINC because of the way they do pastoral care. Just really coming alongside pastors to care for them as people, not just as someone doing ministry, but really just digging in and caring for them as individuals. So.
Well, we've been part of LINC for its entirety, at its inception, from the very beginning, and a great relationship we have with LINC. And so we've been here. That's why we're still here, because it's a great place to be.
We were born into the LINC family.
I think so.
When it was RLCI, we were a part of that, and when LINC started or morphed into LINC or whatever it was, we've just always been a part. And loving it, and just thinking everybody should be.
When we joined LINC, I was looking for a way to be connected with other churches. And the journey we've had with Res Life and LINC has been such a gift to us and such a wonderful help and a resource. So that's how we began.
And then through the years,
We've taken our staff to the conferences. We ourselves have gone to the pastors' conferences in the summer. And it's been just a really great growing experience.
Life happens in relationship, and the thing about being a part of the LINC family is that you've always got somebody that has your back. Somebody that will come alongside of you and encourage you when you're down. Somebody that will come along with some solutions and answers to help you be equipped to handle the season that you're in.
One moment that, one thing that comes to mind when I think of LINC is I had a season in life and I was really struggling. I didn't know what the next step would, what I wanted to do or what I needed to do. And it was, I think it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I was sitting in my friend Ben's driveway, and we were just talking, and I was sharing, this is what I'm dealing with, this is a decision I'm kind of trying to make. And he just prayed with me and helped me through it. And those are the relationships that really help you in ministry, and you need those relationships, and LINC is full of those relationships.
I've had pastors reach out to me and offer to take me to lunch, and then we meet up for lunch, and I realize their church is 2 hours away, and they just came to the city just to take me to lunch and to get to know me.
A moment that really stood out to me is when I went to the pastor's retreat. And it was so awesome to be able to meet other pastors, other pastor wives, being able to know that we're not alone in our experience when it comes to ministry, and just really getting to build friendships with other people has been a blessing for us.
21 years ago, we stepped into this role. James was an intern, and we knew we were going to be lead pastors.
I think we jumped into this.
Okay, we jumped into it, yeah. And so I knew that I was going to need some good friends. And so at one of the conferences, I kept running into this really sweet woman, and we exchanged numbers, and we started to have lunch, and we became very good friends. She was a lead pastor's wife as well, and we have been friends for 21 years, and that is my dearest friend.
I think the cool thing for me that I witness is that it's not specific to the senior pastors. I think that makes a difference in that it's not just to, this level of leadership, or, you're on the custodial team and you're on the tech team, or no, I think if you come with an expectant to get plugged in and connected, people are gonna honor that.
Being a part of the LINC family has allowed me personally to build friendships. I've only been in ministry a short time, and just to be able to have, a community of people that I can call anytime for a prayer or just a laugh or to vent or whatever it is I need. The LINC ladies for sure have just had my back 100.
And LINC has impacted me personally just by being that covering that I heard the gospel for the first time through. I was introduced to Jesus, and then ultimately I answered the calling to become a pastor at a LINC church. So it's just been incredible that LINC has brought me into my relationship with God, and LINC has just been there the whole time for me.
Maybe you're new to LINC, maybe you've been around a lot of these churches for a long time, but there's a spiritual root system that we get the opportunity to tap into, and with that comes a spiritual inheritance. Those who've gone before us, those who are experiencing growth and they're ahead of us, those who are in need of being lifted up right now and encouraged. And now you find out that I'm not just a part of an event, I'm part of a family, and there's something that I can learn here, and there's something I can pass on here. The ceiling really begins to raise because now I am fueled by and I am motivated by something that goes way deeper than my short time here on the earth. And if I stay tapped into it, will go way longer than from when I leave the earth.
I am Pastor Matt Poorman with Cornerstone Church, and I am LINC.
I am Leah Poorman with Cornerstone Church, and I am LINC.
I am Pastor Moses Alexander. I'm from Acts Gospel Outreach Ministries, and I am LINC.
Hi, I'm Steve Shearer. I'm a pastor on staff at the Res Life in Big Rapids, and I am LINC.
Hi, I'm Cheryl. I'm from Big Rapids Res Life, and I am LINC.
I'm Chris Troyer with New Tribe Church, and I am LINC.
I am Pastor Robert Trice with Relevant Church Grand Rapids, and I am LINC.
I am Latricia Trice with Relevant Church Grand Rapids, and I am LINC.
I am Pastor Eileen Sunick. I am with Victory Life Church, and I am LINC.
I'm Pastor James Sunick with Victory Life Church, and I am LINC.
I'm Ricky Long with Res Life Granville, and I'm LINC.
I am Tara Fitz with Relevant Church Grand Rapids, and I am LINC.
I'm Keith Richards with Res Life Big Rapids, and I am LINC.
I'm Jared with New Tribe Church, and I am LINC.
Thank you for being a part of our story. Together, we are LINC.
Come on, guys, let's celebrate. Let's make some noise. We are LINC. Come on, let's get to our feet. Let's stand to our feet. We are LINC. We are LINC. Aren't you guys so glad to be a part of this organization? Such an awesome organization. This is what I want you guys to do. We're one big family, so I want us to draw in together right now. Come on, just right here. Everybody leave your seats. Come on, let's get close. Come on, let's move. Let's move. Let's hustle, guys. Let's get that coffee energy going. Let's come in together. Let's come in together. We are LINC. Come on, bring it all in. Bring it all in. Yep, y'all two sitting down too. Get up too. Yep, bring it all in. We got a couple stragglers. Let's go. Let's do this. Fill in the aisles as well too. Fill in the aisles. Fill in the aisles right there. Come on, you guys get together. All right, this is what we're going to do, guys. This is what we're going to do. We're a family. We're leading together for impact. So we need to come together and have a rally cry in our team. Think about it like this. We are a team that after this conference is going right back out to plunder hell and populate heaven. So we're gonna chant it out. We're gonna get ready. So this is what I want you guys to do. On the count of three, we're gonna go, we are LINC, all right? Like a football team. Now listen, don't, we are LINC. I don't wanna, no. Look, we're in church, but the church makes some noise. So we're gonna make some noise. Y'all ready? All right, I'm gonna give y'all a chance to try. So first go, look, we are LINC. Okay, but I was like 5 of y'all. Okay, let's try it again. I'm gonna look in the back over there, let's see. We are LINC. Okay, that sounds a little better. We are LINC. We are LINC. We are LINC. Come on, let's go. We are LINC. Whoa, we are LINC. We are LINC. We are LINC. We are LINC. Let's make some noise. We are LINC. Come on, everybody. All right, get back to your seats, y'all crazy people. I love it. I love it. Hey, in just a few seconds, we have an incredible speaker coming to the stage. I need y'all to hustle back to your seats. Hustle back. We're a team, guys. You guys are slowing up on me. Come on, let's hustle. Let's hustle. Let's hustle. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So I get the privilege and the honor to introduce our first speaker of the conference. This first speaker goes without mention. You guys know as soon as I mention his name, y'all gonna know exactly who he is. This is our LINC president. He's the president of Ladera Leadership Training Institute. He's a global project director for the John C. Maxwell Leadership Foundation. And together with his wife, Carla, they're the founding pastors of Vidaín Church in Mexico. And not only that, we got a celebrity in the room because this man was on the cover of Forbes magazine as the most handsomely, he is handsome. But he was on the leader of Forbes magazine, Latin America. Come on, stand to your feet. Let's celebrate John Farikin, El Presidente. Let's make some noise, y'all.
Wow, you guys are the best. You're the best. More time taking you on the road with me. That guy's going with me. Wow, what a good day. What an awesome day. I'm going to ask somebody to bring out a table and a stool. Is it coming? All right. And, boy, are you ready to learn today? Fantastic. I am fired up. I've got something I want to share that I think, and I hope I'm in the right room. I hope you don't lose the We Are LINC. And we're going to have fun together, and we're gonna rock this place. But I want to get started. And first, we've got to lay the groundwork, all right? I promise you we will have fun, all right? First, we've got to lay the groundwork, so let's do that. Have you ever been in a place that, whether it's with the people or just the place itself, that you didn't feel comfortable? It's just like, My question is, what is that thing? What is that thing that either sets you free and makes you want to open up and be excited and be yourself, or that thing that kind of makes you shrink back and just kind of, I'll just be myself. Thank you. What is that thing? What is that thing? If you could, I just had knee surgery a month ago, and I'm still kind of gimping around here. If I could have what do you call it in English? Bench? A stool. I was preaching in a church one day, and in Spanish, the word, thank you, that's perfect. And so I said, hey, guys, could you bring me out a bench? And before I got up, I say, hey, I like to sit down a little bit. It just keeps me from going berserk right at the beginning. And I said, could you bring me a bench? They said, a bench? I said, yeah, un banquito, a bench. So they call me up. I get up there. Pretty soon I see these guys. There's 4 guys. They're carrying like a pew. They're bringing out the bench. I'm like, what in the world is that? They said, you wanted a bench. This is a bench. I said, no, I wanted a banquito, a stool. So anyways, what is that thing? What is that thing that makes you feel either in a place, makes you want to open up and just be yourself and just be who you are, or that thing that kind of makes you cower back and you think, what is that? What is that? In physical spaces, we call that the environment. Like right here, this is an environment. So in physical spaces, in this environment produces something. This morning with worship and the excitement. Hey, that worship, by the way, I think we took 5 church leaders, their worship leaders, and just smashed them together. Those guys were awesome, weren't they? We didn't really smash them together, we just brought them together. Anything that I say that sounds weird, it is a direct translation from Spanish to English. I spoke so many times last week in Spanish. We had a big conference, and so I've got Spanish on the brain. But physical spaces, we call that the environment. In business, in factories, in offices, we call that the culture. And we talk a lot about culture today, and it's like the culture. Is it a culture that draws you in, and a culture that helps you to open up, or is it a serious culture? But when we talk about people, we call it attitude. Attitude. Now, I know if you went to the dictionary, you could probably figure out, there's a difference between environment, culture, attitude, but all of them create something. They create an atmosphere that you'll either open up and you'll feel good, or you'll cower back. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about attitude. Attitude's that invisible, intangible thing that creates the atmosphere. I'll say it one more time. Attitude is that invisible, intangible thing that creates an atmosphere. The impact of attitude is first on the inside of the person that chooses it. So you and I choose an attitude, and that directly impacts the inside of me, and then it's projected out. And it's projected out and impacts every single person that encounters your attitude. That could be good or bad, happy, sad, energy or apathy, passion or just kind of mediocrity, positive, negative. All of those things that I just mentioned are something that we feel when we're together with somebody. It's all projected from our attitude. First thing I want you to know today, and I think you know that, is our attitude is powerful. Our attitude is powerful. And one of the most incredible things, and I'm going to read this, one of the most incredible things and powerful discoveries a person can make in life is this. Listen real good. One of the most incredible and powerful discoveries a person can make in life is that a person can change their life by changing their attitude. You may have come here this morning thinking, boy, I tell you what, I hope this conference is good because I need some change. I hope the speakers bring it. I hope they've been praying. I hope the atmosphere's right because I need to get into it to a change atmosphere. Well, I got good news this morning. We've just got rolling. It's 10 minutes into it. And you have just discovered that a person can change their life by changing their attitude. You can change your life today, this morning, by changing your attitude. But there's another part of this. The second part to attitude is, listen very closely, our attitude is our most evangelistic, is our most powerful evangelistic tool. Every Christian, I know there's leaders here, every one of us have this tool case, or what do you call them? A toolbox, thank you. Estuche de herramientas. Every one of us have a toolbox of tools and that we can use, right, in ministry and what we're doing in every day. Well, the most powerful tool that you have, the most powerful evangelistic tool that you have is you. What do you think? Well, the most powerful evangelistic tool is what I say, is my preaching, is my singing, is my service. Your most powerful evangelistic tool is you. People don't hear you first. People see you first. They see you first. And I know in church we don't like we don't like that because then we got to bring it every day. We got to bring attitude every day. In church, we say, no, the people come to church to hear us, and we speak, and then people get saved. I've got news for you. Those are church people. Those are church people or people seeking God. What about the other 60% that will never, ever, ever, ever go into a church? Because we speak every Sunday to church people. Somebody might bring a friend, but the only way you're going to bring a friend if it's somehow, some way that friend is somehow, some way seeking God. It's like we got it made on the inside. Church is great, church is wonderful, love it, we got it made on the inside. But Jesus didn't say, stay on the inside, call them in, and get them saved. Jesus said, go into all the world. You be the message. They're going to see you, and they're going to light up, and they're going to look for you. The Bible says the masses flock to see Jesus. They flock to see Jesus. Why? Because he was the message. You are the message. And that's why I want to talk to you about attitude today, because it's what will draw people to you, for you to share Christ with them. Israel was an example in the Old Testament. Let me put Psalms 126, I'm going to put it on the screen. Psalms 126, Message Bible. I love these 3 verses. It says this: it seemed like a dream, too good to be true, when God returned Zion's exiles. So Israel's free. God brought freedom to Israel, and they're free. Just like God brings freedom to every Christian, every person that receives Christ, there's some freedom there. And look at what it says. We laughed. We sang. We couldn't believe our good fortune. We were the talk of the nations. In other words, when Israel got happy, because Israel, the nations didn't say anything with Israel obeying the law. When Israel obeyed God, they weren't like, wow, how cool. When Israel got happy, when Israel was singing, when they were living it up, they're like, something's going on. The Bible says, we were the talk of the nations. God has been wonderful to them. That's when the nations took notice. They took notice when Israel got happy. And the Bible says God was wonderful to us, and we were one happy people. We were one happy people. Now, I know you might want this to be a little deeper. This is as deep as it gets. This is JV here. And you know me. This is going to be simple, but to the point. When you and I live a happy life, people will take notice. You are your most powerful evangelistic tool. People took notice of Israel. Now that was just, I told you we were going to lay the foundation and get things going. So today I want to talk about attitude. I want to talk to you about that thing that goes before you, that's around you, that every single encounter that you have, every single day, you are projecting something. And people are either drawn to you or they're not. Every encounter, I don't care if you're driving down the road, if you're picking up your coffee at Mickey D's, if you're at a restaurant, if you're in a counseling session, every single encounter. It's even the truth with you. You get up in the morning, you look in the mirror, what's your attitude with you? I woke up this morning, looked in the mirror, and I said, why? That face is messed up, but you're still looking good. What's your attitude? Because if your attitude's not good with you, it's not going to be good with others. So to better remember this message, what we're talking about, let me present you with a concept. Now, you are not going to want to miss this concept. This is a concept I invented. Now, some people like to use acrostics. An acrostic, the word love, and L is leadership, and O is obedience, and V is victory. No, V is Barika. And E is whatever, I don't know. But some people like to use acrostics, but today, this is what I'm going to use. I like to use neologisms. A neologism, check it out, you got your phone right there. A neologism is the art of taking 2 words and making 1 word. Some of these pastors are like, that's legal to do that? Dude, I'll be doing that all the time in my message. Well, it's an art. I'm gonna practice an art today. So I'm practicing the art of neo. I'll spell it N-E-L-O-G. No, yeah. If you're looking it up, it's Neologism. The art of taking two words and putting them together. So our word today is a word that we're going to practice together, and it's a word that you're going to memorize, and it's a word, I've already registered it, talked to Webster, we're in negotiations. The word is extra saliente. Okay, let's practice that one time. I made sure this word was something that gringos could say good. And gringos love to say the saliente because it's like extra saliente. All right, so we're gonna do it that way. Say with me, extra saliente. You guys still don't believe this is a word, do you? I mean, you're just like a classroom, extra saliente. No, the art of taking two words and putting them together. I'm gonna tell you what it means, and then you're gonna memorize that thing, and every single day, you're gonna wake up in the morning and you're gonna say, Jesse, extra saliente, let's go get them. And you're gonna go out, you're gonna reflect Christ every single day. Say with me, extra saliente. Extra saliente. I've been waiting to remove this thing all day long. That's why I was out in the lobby cotton picking, sweating. Get a close-up on there, extra saliente. Attitude, extra saliente. Say with me, extra saliente. Okay, so what are those two words from? Okay, the word extraordinary and outstanding. We're talking about attitude. An extraordinary attitude and an outstanding attitude. Smash those things together in Spanish, which in Spanish is, I can get my English and Spanish so mixed up. Extraordinaria y sobresaliente. Extraordinario obviously is extraordinary, and outstanding is sobresaliente. Put those two words together and you've got extra saliente. There's something more in this word. Extra sal. Say with me, sal. Okay, sal in Spanish is salt. Extra salt. You ever read about salt in the Bible? Okay, so the meaning of extra saliente means extra salt or a flavorful lifestyle. Okay, let's say it together now. Now you're gonna get into it, all right? Okay, now say with extra saliente. Okay, if I cannot see your teeth when you say this, you're not saying it right. Extra saliente. There we go. A flavorful life. A flavorful life. It's something that you're bringing out. Okay, so the question is why? Okay, Juan. Okay, it's fine. That's cool. You did a neologism or whatever it's called, and you put two words together in Spanish, and now you're teaching us Spanish, and now we're extra saliente. Why? Why is it important to have an extra saliente attitude? Because it really is, listen, it really is the only true requirement, emotional requirement for leadership. If you're here and you're in leadership, you say, okay, what's the emotional requirements for leadership? A positive and an encouraged attitude. Let me show you. Romans 12:8. Romans 12:8. Talking about different gifts. And in Romans 12:8, Paul's listing out the gifts, and he says, if it is encouraging others, devote yourself to giving encouragement. If it is sharing, be generous. If it is leadership, lead extra saliente. He should have said that. He wrote it enthusiastically. I don't know why he did that. Lead enthusiastically. If it's helping people in need, help them cheerfully. The Bible, and then Jesus said it, and I'm going to show you what Jesus said, and then you're going to get it. It's all going to come together. It's like extra saliente, okay? An extraordinary and an outstanding attitude. Why? Because in leadership, that is what's required. In leadership, you know what takes more leaders out than any other thing in that there is? Discouragement. Discouragement, it's not sin. A lot of people go south and fall into sin and different traps, but it's discouragement. It's getting discouraged. And when the leader gets discouraged, everybody else gets discouraged. I'm not going to put it up there, but when God talked to Josue, what's his name? Joshua, and Joshua, he's going into the promised land. What did God tell him? God said, be encouraged. Don't get discouraged. Be fired up. Be enthusiastic. He didn't give him a plan. He just said, keep your attitude right. Because if you go south, everybody else is going south. If you keep it up, everybody's up. Okay, so this is what the Bible says. Matthew, you're going to want to write this down. This is in the Message Bible. Matthew 5:13 says this. This is the reason that you exist. Jesus said it. Let me tell you why you are here. You're here to be salt seasoning that brings out the God flavors of the earth. Man, you guys are fired up. I know, it's 10:20 in the morning, so I'm still working on that coffee thing. I'll read that Bible verse one more time. Let me tell you why you're here. You're here to be salt seasoning, extra saliente. You're here to be extra saliente. You're here to be salt seasoning that brings out the God flavors of the earth. In other words, wherever you're at, no matter where you go, every single day, you're to bring out the God flavors in any relationship, in anything you do. No matter where you're at, you are your greatest evangelistic tool. You don't need anything else. If you can get this, if you can wake up and be extra saliente every day, I guarantee you God will use you in ways you have no clue. Because the people, they'll do the same exact thing they did with Israel. They'll be watching there like, dude, God has done something with that guy. God has done something with her. Something is going on. They will take notice because every single day it's darker. Every single day there's more crisis. Every single day it's tougher. And people want to see that what we say we have, we can live it. And it's real. And we're not playing this thing. We can get up and we can be happy. Why? Because Jesus Christ is on the throne of my heart. It doesn't matter what's happening around me. So extra saliente. Let me tell you why you're here. You're here to be salt seasoning that brings out the God flavors on the earth. So that's my introduction, and let me throw this thing out. So you say, okay, extra saliente. So how do we do that? Here we go. I got 6 things. How do I live an extra saliente lifestyle? How do I live every day extra saliente? I thought of 6 things to share with you. Number one, because it's number one, at least in this message. But if you heard me speak before, you've probably heard me say this before. If you're going to have an extra saliente lifestyle, attitude, number one, you have got to love life. You've got to love life. And I like to say it this way. People that love life see life as a gift to celebrate, not a punishment to endure. Think about that. What's your attitude? Do you wake up every morning and it's like, it's a new day? It's going to be a good day. I want to have an extra saliente attitude, an extraordinary, outstanding attitude in everything I do. Well, I love life. I am happy. We're going to resolve situations. Yeah, there's things that will happen. This has nothing to do with the cards that you were dealt. When you decide, I'm going to love life, life is a gift. As somebody that's living their last days, if life isn't a gift from God. I was sitting in a chair probably about 5 months ago, 6 months ago. Carla was next to me, and I was real close to one of my mentors in life, Wayne Myers, missionary. He turned 101 on August 31st, and I was sitting close to him, and he turned to me, he said, Yanni, he said, life is like a dream. It's here and then it's gone. You got to live it to the max. And I thought, a man 100, and he was 100 at the time, he just turned 101, 100 years old, turned and with his wisdom, he's on the other side, and he's like, you got to embrace life, you got to do it all, you got to embrace that. Man, you live an extra saliente life. Number one, you got to love life. You got to love life. You got to see life as a gift. If you don't see life as a gift, everything else will go sideways. Your marriage will go sideways. Your relationship with your kids will go sideways. Church will go sideways because you will not have an extra saliente attitude. People that love life are fun. How many like to be with people that are fun? I like to laugh, and so I love to be with people that are fun. I like to be with people that are light. And that's me. I'm light, keep it superficial. Don't go deep. People tell me, so how'd you and Carly have, 38 years? How'd you, in our situation with our handicaps, we keep it light. Keep it light. People that love life, they're like, yeah, there's problems, there's situations, but let's go, carry on. People that love life are enthusiastic, passionate. I left my cell phone down there, but I've got a friend, and he's a friend of some of y'all's here. His name is, he's a farmer. He's 83 years old. His name is John. John lives up in the north, up near Cadillac, and I love, he's 83 years old, but he is electric. He's electric. Can't hear real good either, so that makes more electric because then he screams all the time. He's like, so if it doesn't matter where I'm at, if my phone was right here and the call came in, and his name on it, I would answer. He's my favorite guy in the world. It's like, I answer the phone, Big John, is that, hey, Big John? Because he can't hear, so he's screaming on the phone. Today's a good day. It's a blessing to be alive. That's the first thing he says. Then, because he's a farmer, he gives me the weather report. It's like at 43 degrees, a little fog, it's beautiful. And then we go into what we're going to talk about. I love when he calls me because he loves life. He loves life. And he just has that extra saliente attitude. And by the way, what I said this, but I'll say it again. What I'm talking about has nothing to do with the cards that you were dealt. We all have problems. We all have situations. We all have to face challenges. We all either have situations with our parents or with our children or with us or with here or with our job or the finances. There's always challenges in life. That's life. But the challenges are part of life. So you need to love life and have the extra saliente attitude. It's because attitude is a decision. You have the attitude that you chose right now in this place at this very instant. So you just choose. It's just a choice. I remember when our son Timmy moved, a lot of you know our story, but I'll just briefly, darles un resumen. How do you say that? Give you an overview real quick. And because Timmy in his situation was so much part, and there's a lot of new people here, so much part of our life. Carla and I have 4 children. When Timmy was born, he was our third. He was born healthy, had viral. One morning, he woke up and he wasn't breathing, and hospital and weeks and then months. And when it was all over, Timmy had suffered viral encephalitis, and he had suffered massive brain damage. So Timmy, for the rest of his life, he never saw. He was blind. He never walked. He never talked. He was our special little guy. And I remember our first weeks and then months, and we're just young kids, and we don't know how to. We don't know what we're doing. How do we do this? What do we do? Statistics. The doctor and a psychologist gave us our little boy when we left the hospital, and they gave us the good news. Percentage of divorce in a family like yours is 93%. 100% chance that your other children will have some type of psychological situations because your life's going to revolve around your handicapped little boy, and you need to put this boy in an institution, and all the good news that you can hear. And then walked out of there with a bill back in 1989, I think, of over $30,000, which was a world of money for us. And it's like, okay, that's that. So here we go. So can extra saliente, can that work in a situation where the statistics are against you and the odds are against you and two people that don't know what they're doing? Can it work? And I remember it, the first weeks and then months and then getting into the years, it was just a struggle and hard. And I remember the day that it all changed. The day it all changed. And it changed about 2 miles from here. We were trying to get some medical help for Timmy, so we were in the States. We live in Mexico, still live in Mexico, but we were in the United States at the time. And so we had a little apartment, and the apartments had built down the road, and he was going to doctors and this and that, and we were struggling, and are we going to make it, and the statistics and everything going on. And I remember walking out. It was cold out. I think it was in about December. It might have been November, December, and I walked out, and where the mall is down there, it was all fields, and I said, "Come on, I'm going for a walk," and we had been at each other and who knows what, and I walked out into a field, and there was snow. There was probably about a foot of snow on the ground. And I remember just kind of sitting down and falling back into the snow. So I was into the snow, so somebody looked across the field, they would never see me. So I'm laying in the snow, and I'm looking towards heaven, and I start talking to God. I said, "God, you're going to have to do a miracle. Because if you don't do a miracle, how are we going to fulfill your purpose? Called to Mexico, missionaries in Mexico, doing different things, et cetera, and how are we going to do your will?" And started kind of twisting God's arm and, how we do and trying to get him to do something. If you do a miracle, man, this will be a testimony throughout the world. Clinically blind, doing this and that, and besides that, it's got to happen because if it's not, we're not going to make it. I remember giving my whole spiel to God, just looking up in the clouds. Nobody knows I'm there, all alone. And I remember God speaking to my heart. And he surprised me what he said. He said, "No, John, you're the one that needs a miracle." And in my mind, I didn't say this, but in my mind, I said, what are you talking about? I said, "No, you're the one that needs a change. Because you're on the verge of throwing in the towel. You're on the verge of choosing a path that will take to destruction. You need to change what I heard, you need to change your attitude. You need an attitude adjustment." Basically is what God said. And I remember I laid there, and at first I was like, huh? I thought I was bringing the subject, and now we're off on something else. But I remember laying there thinking, I'm going to do that. I don't have a lot of gifts. I don't have a lot of talents. But one thing I do have, I can change my attitude. So I remember getting up that day. I went back home, little apartment, walked in the door, and I said, "Carla," I said, "we're going to make it. And now we're not only going to make it, we're going to make it good. And we're going to make it happy. And I'm not going to have another bad day in my life." That was in 1990. I think it was 2 or 3 or something like that. Timmy got sick in 89, so it was a couple years after that. So that was about 20, how many years would that be? That'd be 32 years ago. All right, I got people. I got Carla sitting right there. I've got some guys I've worked with for over 20 years here and from our churches in Mexico. These guys know me. They can attest to. Now, I've had a lot of days that had a lot of bad things happen. How many have bad things happen to them throughout the day, throughout the week? But let me tell you what, I haven't had a bad day since then. Because I decided I'm going to have an extra saliente attitude. And I'm going to love life. And don't applaud me because I'm no big deal. But I just decided I will be happy. And in point number 6, I'm going to explain to you how you can do that. What are you guys laughing about? We ain't going to get to point number 6? We will. I'll be fast. And you decide. Okay, here it goes. Decide, discipline, and then you become. That's point number 6. We jump. I'm done. Decide, discipline. So I made a decision. I'm laying in the snowbank, and I said, okay, I will be happy the rest of my life. And there'll be things that happen, and I might go sideways for a second, and I'm going to remember extra saliente, and then I'm going to come back in there, and I'm going to live that. That's who I'm going to. And then I had to discipline myself for years and years and years. But after a while, I woke up one day, and I thought, that isn't what I'm disciplining myself to do. That's who I am. And I am nothing special. People that love life are fun. They love to celebrate. People that love life are happy, motivated, excited. What do you project? You're like, oh, well, that's your, that must be your temperament. That is not my temperament. I am very choleric, need my time, need my space, love to be alone, but I have learned I'm called to people. You're called to people. So you better get over your temperament. Well, I'm melancholic. I go with my feelings. You better get over your temperament. Well, I'm sanguine and I go nuts all the time. You better get over those things. You are who you are, and that's good. Embrace yourself. Love yourself. But I just decided that's what the Bible says, and I didn't give this to these guys. Isaiah 40:31, I love the scripture, but those who hope in the Lord, those that deposit themselves in faith in the Lord will renew their strength. They'll soar on wings of eagles. They'll run and not grow weary. They'll walk and not faint. In other words, they're all jacked up. They live all jacked up. I would love to see LINC. We are LINC. Okay, we started out. That's cool. We started out. That was good. That was good. But dude, we're at level 1. We could be at level 10. Just going berserk. We are LINC. But you can live that way. Number 1, love life. Love life. You're here today. You've got some situations in your marriage. You're like, I don't know if we're going to make it. What you need to do is this. Get your t-shirt that says extra saliente. I only have one. We could raise some money for something. We could auction this puppy off. Get your t-shirt, wear it every day, remind yourself extra saliente. I guarantee your marriage will change. I guarantee it. You can kick me out of this place forever if that's not true. Because the Bible says it. The Bible says if we will change our heart, change our attitude, man, so many things can change. All right, let me go on. Number 2. Okay, so how to have an extra saliente attitude. Number 2, expect the curves. Expect the curves. I think we said it a little different up there. Expect there will be curves. That's more proper than mine, I think. Expect that there will be curves. Expect the curves. You know what? Everybody thinks that life should be just a highway, straight highway. And there's never any curves. How many people have been going down the highway, everything's cool, everything's chilling, all of a sudden, whack! Life just, boom, there's a curve. Ever happen? You need to expect that. You want to have an extra saliente attitude, you need to expect curves. You need to know everything's cool, everything's chilling. There will be a curve in your road. You can it doesn't matter how well you plan out life. I got it all planned. I've dotted all my I's and crossed all my T's. This is going to work. And there will be a curve. There will be a curve. I guarantee you that your life will not be the way you thought it would be, but it can be marvelous. It can be. I've got a book that I'm just dying to write. I want to name it. Carlos said, "No, you ain't naming it. I want to name it Some Kind of Wonderful." And then when I speak on it, I want to come out in that song, some kind of wonderful, yeah, yeah, yeah. So why some kind of wonderful? Because we all have this picture of life, of what our life is going to be, and we say, that is it. That's my life. That is where I'm going to go. That is what I'm going to be. And we've got this picture of wonderful. Well, it can be wonderful, but it's going to be some kind of wonderful. It's not going to be the wonderful you think, because life will have curves. There will be curves. But that doesn't mean you can't have an extra saliente attitude. But you need to decide and train yourself that when the curves happen in life, you will rule your attitude. That it's like, okay, be at peace. Yeah, I know I've got to make this decision. That is, there is no good, easy decision, but there's curves in life, so I'm going to run those curves. There will always be curves in life. I remember Pastor Dwayne and I did a little video spot yesterday, and we were talking about Cuba, and we were kind of reminiscing a little bit about Cuba, no? And when we started and this and that. And I remember I had a plan. Had been to Cuba, fell in love with the Cuban people. And this was back in the 90s, and the situation was really desperate, but I had a plan. And so I had this plan. We're gonna create these Bible training centers across the island. They're gonna be, they're not legal, but we'll build them and we'll get them and we'll bring in the stuff we need to bring to the country. We'll come up with stuff. And I had a plan. It was like I could see it. What I didn't see is right before we began to launch the perfect plan, I was in Cuba and got arrested. It was like we're speaking at this camp, and all of a sudden they're like, the state police are here, the state security, the KBG, whatever you want to call them. They're here, hide. So we hide, then they find us and they take us to prison, then they take us to Havana, because we were out in Pinar del Rio, out in the sticks somewhere, and the next day, this general walks in, and I had 6 Mexicans and me as an American there, and we were in our cell, and they walked in and said, okay, who's in charge? And everybody said, Rican. So this Cuban with a couple guys with metralletas, like machine guns, they walk in, and he said, Chico, ven para acá. He said, son, let's go. And so we walk in the back, and they're threatening 15 years in prison. You can't be doing as a tourist in this country. You're breaking the law and this and that. But we're good people, and we're going to let you go. You're officially deported. They took our passports, stamped our passports, and they're like, you can never come back. If you attempt to come back, 15 years in prison, man. Escuchas, muchacho. You understand what I'm saying? Boy. I say, yep. I said, yes, I'm listening to you. It wasn't like, yes, I am going to obey you. So life starts taking a curve. And it's like, what the world? We had it all planned out, God. We had a plan. Then I go back, so we're deported, but we're free, and we're back in Guadalajara, Mexico, and we're at our house, and a couple days later, we're on phone calls and this and that. We'd hear recordings coming back through our telephone. And pretty soon I got some people that understand that. They're like, your phone lines are tapped. Phone lines are tapped for what? Then one day, our kids went to Vacation Bible School in the summer. They were just little tykes. Our oldest daughter, our youngest son are in Vacation Bible School, and we get a call and said, hey, have you authorized some other people to pick up your children? And no, you better get here soon. Boom, we go flying. They said, a lady came up and said that you had empowered them to pick up your children, and we were about to give them your children, but then I thought, no, hold on, let me call Juan or Carla, and she took off, jumped in a car with these men. They were attempting to kidnap our kids. Curves. Curveball. It's like, hold on, that wasn't part of the plan. I had Bible schools, and now we're in prison, and then phone lines tapped, and then attempt to our kids. It's like, what is going on? So then it's like, you better get your family out of there. I talked to Wayne Myers, talked to Pastor Dwayne, different people. They're like, better get the family out of there. I had some responsibilities. So Carl and the kids moved back to Michigan. We got them a place. And I stayed in Mexico. And so we're in this situation. It's like, what is going on? You will have curves. Then, so I'm teaching at a Bible school. So I'm living, 5 months, I think. We were 5 months, something like that. Carla, we saw each other because there was a straight flight, Mexicana. That was an old airline. They had a straight flight to Chicago. So I tell Carla, I say, hey, let's meet in Chicago. Little conjugal visit. There's a price to pay, but if there's a way around it, there's a way around it. So every now and then I'd fly to Chicago, and she would drive down, and we'd meet for the weekend, and I'd go back, and it's like, okay, we're in the curve, but we're good. So I go back to Guadalajara. So I taught in a Bible school. I'm in a full suit. I'm on the way home. I thought, I'm going to buy a watermelon for lunch. And so I pull up in this road that's as big as 44th Street out there with no camellón, with nothing in the middle, but it's big. There's all kinds of cars on it. But there's this guy under this huge tree that would sell watermelons in his pickup truck. He'd have watermelons and muskmelons in the back. So I pulled up behind there. I had just went to the bank. A friend of mine either sold his car or something. All I know is I had $4,000 cash in pesos, and I got it at the bank, and I just threw it in the seat next to me. So I got $4,000 cash. I'm going to buy a watermelon. I get out of the car. I'm feeling these watermelons. It's like, I don't know how you pick a watermelon. All the ladies always just knock on it. It's like, I don't know hello. Yes, it is me. I'm a good watermelon. I don't know what they're doing, so I'm knocking on a watermelon. But I left my keys in the car and stuff like that, and all of a sudden somebody put something in my back and is screaming, "Dame las llaves, dame las llaves, give me the keys, give me the keys." And it took me a second. I was like, what? This is a robber. I said, "I rebuke you in Jesus' name." That's what I said in Spanish. He took his pistol. He said, "It doesn't do nothing to me." Boom! Hit me over the head. I fell over the top of the watermelons, and when I kind of got myself up, I turned around, and he was getting in the car. The keys were in the car. The money was in the car. But he committed a fatal mistake. He turned to look at his accomplice. And I have been a Christian all my life. So I took 2 steps and boom, I hit him, got over the top of him. So we're in the middle of this road. Bam, I'm on the top of him. Boom, 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 extra saliente, boom. But look at you guys. You guys are clapping. You guys are thugs. It's like, yeah, kill him. So I'm hammering. I didn't know he had an accomplice. This guy come by on a motorcycle and bam, kicked me in the head. I went flying back. He's yelling to his guy, get on the cycle, get on the cycle, get on the cycle. Jumped on the cycle, they took off. When you're street fighting, I don't know what happened. I got done, I didn't have no socks on. My knees are all, the suit was just tore up, but suit coat was off. My tie was like crazy, and no socks, no shoes, no socks. I jumped back up. I looked, the keys were in the car. Car was still there. The curves. You go to prison, they attempt to kidnap your kids. Then the thugs can come and try to rob you. You expect curves. I went home, you say, "What'd you do?" I went home, called Carl on the phone, and said, "Chicago." And then you ain't gonna believe what just happened to me. But I'm good. What do you do with the curves? You just carry on. The extra saliente attitude. You jump up and carry on. It's like, God don't understand this, but we're going to do it. Say with me, extra saliente. Number 3. Now I'll go real fast. I got 13 minutes. Develop a mature perspective. You want to have an extra saliente attitude. Develop a mature perspective. And I'll tell you, and I'll just tell you what a mature perspective is that everything is temporal. Everything is temporal. I sat there with my mentor, Wayne Myers, and he's on his way out. And if you live 80, 90, 100 years, it is a blink of an eye compared to eternity. And if you're like me, I plan on spending eternity in heaven. So if I plan on spending eternity in heaven, 20, 30, 50, 80, 90 years, with a little bit of tribulation is nothing. Think about it. If I'm gonna live for all eternity, and I gotta go through a little tribulation here on earth, that ain't nothing. That was one of the things that helped Carla and I get to the place to where with a severely handicapped son, and we just got to doing life, and it's like everything's logistics, and it's not easy, and it's not the same as everybody else, and we can't just jump up, go to restaurants, and do this and this and that, but we got to the place to where we're just happy. It's like, so people would say, so how do you do it? And basically our perspective is, this is nothing. This is nothing. This is just a little bit of time. So the first thing you can do to have an extra saliente attitude in this is develop a perspective of this is temporal, that's eternal. This is like boom and it's gone, that's forever. So if I have to go through a little bit of tribulation now, man, I'm gonna live forever in paradise with my Lord Jesus Christ. And if you can't be happy, then you ain't extra saliente. But that's the second part of this. The second part is no matter how difficult your situation is, there's always somebody that has it worse. So if you want to keep the right perspective, but an eternal perspective and then a perspective, no matter how bad you have it, somebody has it worse. I remember way back in the day, I'm thinking, man, nobody has it as bad as we do. You know, the situation and what's going on and this and that, until I went to the hospital with Carla one day. And we carried our little immobile Timmy, couldn't see and this and that, and sat him down. And all of a sudden I was confronted with parents, mostly moms alone, with a handicapped child that was mobile and could move and could do physical things but didn't know what they were doing. And when I left that hospital room, I'm like, man, we won the handicap lottery. And that might sound weird to you, but we did. And we got to the point to where, man, we won the lottery. We put Timmy somewhere, and there's two options. God does a miracle, and he's up and sees, and he's going, and he's walking, and he left, or he's going to be there. So yeah, when Timmy got older, once he got 18, we're like, Timmy, we're going out, we're going down to have some coffee. Take care of the place. Timmy couldn't see now, he'd be laying on the couch. I'd yell and he'd shake his head and this and that. And I said, Timmy, you're good. And so there was two options. Because we live in Mexico, there's no chance of fires in Mexico. So you got to change. It's like, what about a fire? No, we live in a place, there are no fires. And so it was but I learned a big lesson. As bad as, no matter how bad you have it, there's somebody that's got a lot worse than you do. You better get your attitude right. I walked in that hospital room and saw those moms trying to control their children with difficulties and impairments and different things, and I thought, man, we won the lottery. Extra saliente has everything to do with your perspective. How are you seeing? Can you realize that this is so temporal and that is so eternal? It doesn't matter what you have to go through here. Now, no matter what you're going through here, there's people that have it a lot worse. Number four, extra saliente. Say with me, extra saliente. Okay, but you're waning on the energy. I'm gonna let you go in 8 minutes. Okay, say extra, and then when you're gonna say saliente, let's get into it. Saliente. Like we were in a Mexican restaurant last night, and the mariachis were there, and they were loud. But every single gringo that was with us was taking out their Spanish. Any Spanish word they knew, they were going for it. So today I'm teaching a Spanish word. You go into the next Mexican Mexican restaurant you go into, you tell them, I want some food extra saliente. And you say, what is that? And then you tell them what that is. Say with me, extra saliente. Number 4, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Okay, let me explain what this means. You'll get it real quick. How many here would say that they have enough problems to solve, they don't need any more? If that's you, raise your hand. You got enough. You're good. Okay. Everyone raise your hand. Okay. So let me ask you a question. Why do you get into other people's lanes? That means life. Why do you get in other people's life and complicate yours? That cracks me up. People love drama. People love difficulty. People, you want to have an extra saliente lifestyle attitude. Just stay in your own lane. That's wonderful. Minister to people, love people, pray for people, whatever, but don't get mixed up. You're trying to get somebody to do something that you have no power or authority in their life to make them do it. You will complicate your life. I wrote this down. See if we put this up on the screen. When you get involved in somebody else's life, trying to change the way they think or act, you are getting out of your lane. And blank is on its way. You can fill in the blank. Now, we're in church, so I'm going to give you the proper words. Frustration, drama, fights, destruction, time-consuming conversations that never end. Don't raise your hand. Do not raise your hand. How many here, just think of your life, how many times have you, with a beautiful motive on the inside, wanting somebody because you know the answer, but they don't, and you just start to get out of your lane and get in their lane, and you're like, look, this is, and pretty soon you're wasting all kinds of time, and you're frustrated, and you're up all night long, and you're mad, and you're like, what? Stay in your own lane. Stay in your own lane. One of the keys to an extra saliente attitude is to keep a simple lifestyle. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Love people. Love God. Love people. Bless people. Serve people. But don't get in their lane. That will jack you up. It will be impossible because they will become the Lord of your life. You're trying to help them change it, but you can't, and it's just, and it gets disastrous. Number 4, just stay in your lane. Number 5, love and value others. Love and value others. It is impossible to love and value other people when you're mad, sad, or focused on yourself. Love is something you give, so it obligates you to be focused on other people. One of the greatest catalysts of an extra saliente life is to love and to serve and to value other people. This morning when I got up, I thought about each one of you. I wonder who's going to be at the conference, but one thing I know, can't wait to be in the halls and to sit down for lunch and see my friends. And to somehow, some way, look you in the eye and let you know, I value you. We value you. You are valuable. And it's not because we are LINC. We are LINC, that's cool. But you're a person. And loving people, when you love people and value people, it is impossible, because then your focus is on others. Your focus is not on you. When you live that every day, I guarantee you have an extra saliente attitude. Because you're not thinking about yourself. You think about others. What can I do for others? How can I help others? How can I help? How can I serve you? How can I make you happy? How can our time here bless your life? And you will have an extra saliente attitude. So I got 3 minutes to shut this thing down. Number 6, I already gave you number 6, but we'll go over it real quick. Lead your life. Lead your life. Most incredible thing about everything that I've taught today is that you have the power and the authority to live like I'm talking about. You can live like I'm talking about. You should lead your own life. So how do you develop an extra saliente attitude? Number 1, you decide, and you can decide right here, right now. I don't know about that word, but I'm gonna have a good attitude. I'm gonna decide that I'm gonna have the best day of my life every day of the rest of my life. I'll say it again. I'm gonna decide I'm gonna have the best day of my life every day of my life for the rest of my life. You can decide that. Then you have to be a steward of that decision. Because it's not hard to decide. It's like, yeah, we're going to do this. But then tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, you have to be a steward. So when you decide, number two, you discipline yourself. Every single day, when things happen, it's like extra saliente. No. And you just keep smiling. And somebody talks back to you, and when you would normally respond, it's like, no, extra saliente. As you smile, and it's like, that's okay. And you discipline yourself. And one day, and it might not happen in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. One day, maybe 10 years from now, 15 years from now, it took me, I calculated when I thought like this is just natural. It took me about 13 years from the time I decided disciplining myself to the day that one day I looked back and thought, I'm not disciplining myself anymore. That is who I am. That's just who I am. Greatest evangelistic tool you have in your life is you. Greatest ministry tool you have in life is you. Be extra saliente. Bring out the God flavors every single place that you are at. Every single place. Bring out the God flavors. That's what he said. God bless you.
Wasn't that so good? Come on, guys, we can do better than that.
Come on.
Come on, I need y'all to be extra saliente right now.
Saliente with your teeth. Saliente. Hey.
That was powerful.
That was awesome.
Anybody in here just want to admit, like, he was just coming for your throat right there, just like, okay, first session and you're sitting at my kitchen telling me about myself. Yep. But we're going to be extra saliente. Hey, we want to thank you. Come on, one more time. Thank you, Pastor John.
Pastor Johnny.
He is one of the most extra saliente people I've ever met. We're going to talk about another solution partner that is here, that is helping us make this conference happen, which is also extra saliente. It's an organization called Leader, and we want you to take a look at it right now.
Well, I'm excited today about our conversation with Holly Tate, who is the Senior Vice President of Growth for Leader. Tell us just a little bit about the vision of Leader and kind of why you're passionate about representing Leader.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, our mission is to develop 1 million leaders. The world needs more great leaders, and especially in the church.
Yep.
I mean, we have the most amazing and most important mission that exists, the Great Commission. And so we can't do that if we don't have great leaders.
Yep.
And so that's what we're all about at Leader. But as we build organizations, which is what the church is,
Yep.
how do we provide systems and processes to help us scale so that we can steward the relationships that God has entrusted to us? And so as we did tons of research. We knew that there was a problem. Okay, we got to develop more leaders. Now, how in the world do we go about doing that? And we came up with 5 foundations. And the number one of those 5 foundations is the one-on-one meeting. Then we can get into those development conversations. Where do you want to go? What has God called you to? How can I help you as your leader get you to that next step? And then we can talk about performance, which is executing the mission, getting the job done that has been entrusted to us.
So if our LINC family wanted to kind of get in touch with you and maybe find out a little bit more about what you guys offer, how would they do that?
Yeah, you can go to our website. You know, it's really easy to spell, Leader.
Well,
We
it's actually,
overcomplicated it.
It's actually not.
It's not. So it's Leadr, leader without the last E.com.
Leader is one of our solutions partner. They not only have provided services for us, but they've invested financially back into the LINC family and helped us plant churches and things of that nature. So when we talk about partnership, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about people who have a heart and a passion for the local church. And so, hey, give Leader an opportunity to help you help others.